You are white. I am black.
White supremacy, slave trade.
Because you're white.
Racial discrimination, African Americans, black women.
White privilege. White privilege. White privilege. White people should feel a certain amount of guilt.
Black men. White analysts. Black dude. Racist. White dude. I am a black man. My blackness, a lot of racists out there.
Racist. 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 Racist.
Black guy versus a white guy.
Racist. Racist.
Race riots.
White privilege.
Black players.
Colorism. Fairer skin. Racism. Racist. Racism. Racism. Black man. White people. A black young man. White guys. Black man. White girl. Black people.
We don't know, but we do know this. Since you do want to bring it up, we do know this, that when it comes to MVP voting, 80% of the voters are white American. 20% are other.
The next day.
I want to correct something here from yesterday's show. When Kendrick Perkins said 80% of NBA voters for the MVP award are white. The NBA publicly announces the voters each year, and after review, it is clear the panel is much more diverse than what was portrayed by Kendrick Perkins, and we wanted to make sure that we corrected that today.
All right, guys, so what you just witnessed there was an embarrassing retraction from Woke Take in regards to Kendrick Perkins, who's an analyst for that show, claiming that 80% of the MVP voters for the NBA are white as a part of a race-baiting rant in which he was defending his race baiting, claiming that it is much easier for white guys to win the MVP than black guys, and that somehow the MVP voters for the NBA were biased. And his evidence to back up the racial bias was, well, 80% of them are white. And he was so sure at the time doing this debate with JJ Redick that he was right, he was correct, that he said, look, I'm just stating the facts, right? It's not race baiting. I'm just stating facts. Okay, I'm just stating facts.
Just say something. Stephen A., I mean no offense to you, and I mean no offense to First Take, because I think this show is extremely valuable. It is an honor to be on this desk every day. It really is. But what we've just witnessed is the problem with this show, where we create narratives that do not exist in reality. The implication, what you are implying, that the white voters that vote on NBA are racist, that they favor white people. You just said that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That is exactly what you implied, Kendrick Perkins. That is exactly what you implied. Secondly, hold on.
I did not call. I stated the facts. And you're not about to sit up.
We all know what you implied the other day. We all know what you implied just now. Hold on.
I stated it's the facts. It's the facts.
It's just the facts. It's the facts. Ain't it amazing how you can proclaim something with so much confidence and so loudly and just be so wrong, right? You're confidently loud and wrong, because Woke Take had to issue an embarrassing apology, a retraction for Kendrick Perkins and his fake stat in defense of his race baiting, which apparently, again, the MVP voters for the NBA are more diverse than what Kendrick Perkins would let know. Now, we don't know the exact ratio of, non-whites to whites, because that's what they really mean by diversity. But apparently, again, it's more diverse than what Kendrick Perkins was saying. Now, Kendrick Perkins, again, besides being an embarrassment for Woke Take, he is getting some backlash from some other NBA commentators who don't work for First Take or Woke Take, in which we have Charles Barkley, who actually went on a radio show to speak on this situation, and he takes some jabs. He rips Kendrick Perkins for his race-baiting comments as well. Take a look.
Kendrick Perkins is making an insinuation that Joker's getting the MVPs because the voters like him and the voters are mostly white. That's what he said. I mean, listen to this soundbite right here. Here's what he said in case you missed it.
We don't know, but we do know this. Since you do want to bring it up, we do know this, that when it comes to MVP voting, 80% of the voters are white American. 20% are others. I know that stat.
Stephen A. All right. Listen, I don't know what to do with that. What is your immediate response with that there, Charles?
Hey, man, I'm trying to work on my golf game. Y'all bringing me on radio to talk about stupid stuff. Come on, man. I'm working on my face. I'm trying to learn how to hit a cut and a hook today. I'm working out today on fades and hooks.
Okay.
You know what? that's asinine and silly. Asinine, silly, and stupid. Pick one of the words, whatever one you want. Hey, man, listen, Joker has won 2 MVPs, well-deserved. Him, Giannis, and Joel are battling for the third one this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go down to the wire. You know, one of the things that's silly about ESPN at times, they do this silly debate every year about the MVP. You know, and so it's a regular season award. It ain't who the best player is. It's who had the best regular season.
Yeah.
But every year ESPN get these fools on radio and TV talk about who's the best player. Well, listen, Michael Jordan probably was the best player in the NBA for probably 5 years before he won an MVP because his team wasn't no good. So they have these silly things every year, and it's really just that's the silliness of these morning talk shows because, like I say, everybody in the NBA knew Michael Jordan was the best player for 5 years before he won MVP. Everybody know Kobe Bryant was a better player than Steve Nash, but the Suns had the best record in the NBA the years that Steve Nash. So one of the reasons Joker is the front runner or one, whoever was in competition with him, they had a better regular season record. He had he's been fantastic, but the notion that people are voting, first of all, you probably can count the white guys on one hand who won MVP. Yeah. Think about in the last 30 years, I'll just pull that out.
Sure.
Other than Joker twice, Steve Nash twice, how many white guys actually won MVP? I can't think of it right now, but
Dirk
who else?
did.
Is there anybody else?
Yeah, Dirk had one right after Steve Nash had two.
Okay, but then why in the hell's Perkins? What is going on here? Why are we going down this damn road? You know what? You know full well, Chuck. You were at All-Star Weekend. This dude, Joker, he don't even care about the award. He don't even care, man.
And and I'm pretty sure he don't give a damn about these idiots on TV talking about him either.
You're right.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Charles Barkley kind of went in on Draymond and ESPN in general for pushing these narratives, having these silly conversations, around MVP, and, again, creating fake narratives around it for clicks and likes. And it really is an embarrassing moment for Kendrick Perkins, but it also is kind of a encouraging moment to see most people, most reasonable people, black or white, go after Kendrick Perkins for unnecessary race baiting, right? You are implying that the voters for the MVP are somehow racist because you believe that they're mostly white, right? When apparently they're not as white as you claim, right? You're not really familiar with how diverse the NBA MVP voters are, right? You're just assuming that they're mostly white because, I don't know, the white man's in charge of everything, right? Isn't that what they say? Right? This is what they believe, right? So they just automatically assume that, hey, most MVP voters must be white. But again, it's just not the NBA or the MVP award where they have these fake, race narratives. They do it all the time, with NFL and, head coaching. Oh, there's not enough black coaches, right? But again, they never talk about how, who knows, maybe there are not enough white players, okay? They talk about how important it is for 2 black coaches to be facing each other or 2 black quarterbacks to be facing each other. And then they're trying to create a narrative around Lamar Jackson in Baltimore because the Ravens, I believe they gave him a non-exclusive franchise tag, right? They're not really trying to sign him to a long-term agreement because he hasn't really won anything, right? He hasn't done anything, okay? I think he won an MVP award, but he hasn't went deep in the playoffs. He hasn't been to the Super Bowl. He's undoubtedly an elite or close to an elite quarterback. However, he hasn't really proven that he can lead a team to playoff wins or a Super Bowl appearance. So they're questioning whether or not they should pay him, and other teams aren't that interested in Lamar Jackson. And they're trying to create a race narrative out of that. They're trying to say, well, because he's black. He's a black quarterback, right? He's a black quarterback. Again, does that apply to Geno Smith, who just got paid from the Seahawks? He got a massive contract. Dude's been in the league for years, right? Does it apply to any other black quarterback that's been paid? In fact, I believe most of the top paid quarterbacks in the NFL are black. Most of them are black. But for whatever reason, there's this race narrative being created around Lamar Jackson because there's not that much interest in him, and the Ravens aren't really trying to commit to him long term. Must be because of his skin color, right? Can't be because he's not winning or he's not performing as well as he should perform, considering how quarterbacks get all the praise when they win and they get all the blame when you lose. If you're not taking your team to the Super Bowl or deep into the playoffs, I don't believe that Lamar Jackson's ever been to even an AFC championship game. When you're not actually doing what matters as a quarterback, which is winning in the playoffs and winning Super Bowls, and you're a running quarterback that we know has a history in the NFL of declining significantly with age, especially if they aren't a great passer, which, I mean, I think it's questionable whether or not you can call Lamar Jackson a great passer. Then yeah, you're taking risk, right? It is a big risk for a team to sign you to a long-term contract for record money, right? Which I'm pretty sure that's what Lamar Jackson wants. He probably wants to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Yeah, it's going to be tough for teams to sign you, to say that, hey, we're going to be willing to do this, considering how you haven't even been to an AFC championship game, haven't won one, haven't been to a Super Bowl. There's risk with signing you long-term considering your skill set. See how I was able to do that analysis with no race involved? I didn't need to use his skin color as some type of excuse for why teams are not that interested in him, right? It has nothing to do with skin color. All this can be analyzed without race baiting. I wish that they would learn how to do that on ESPN or Woke Take, where they're supposed to be analysts, right? They're supposed to analyze things, objectively with facts, okay? Not race baiting narratives and opinions. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.